Hi everybody, hope all of you are well, and today I will continue the study of compound chapter, and today we will discuss the another preparation method of nitric acid. Okay, so today our main process is the Ostwald process. So manufacture of nitric acid by Ostwald process. Now what are the reactants? Here two main reactant is there. One is pure diammonia gas and another is air. Okay, and air should be perfectly clean. There should not be any dust. Okay, so we have to take in the ratio 1:10 volume ratio. That is the pure ammonia gas and air ratio will be 1:10. Now what is the first step of the reaction? First step, what will happen? There will be catalytic oxidation of ammonia to nitric oxide. If we write the reaction, then we can understand that ammonia will react with oxygen in presence of the catalyst platinum and rhodium. Platinum 90%, rhodium 10%. Rhodium is used here to prevent the oxidation of platinum. Okay, and here the temperature is required around 800 degrees centigrade. So it will produce the nitric oxide and there will be formation of water, and this is an exothermic reaction. There will be generation of heat also. Okay, now if we balance this reaction, here 4, this will be 5, and this will be 4, and this will be 6. Okay, and in the next step, this nitric oxide will be oxidized to nitrogen dioxide. So this is the second step. So this nitric oxide will be oxidized to nitrogen dioxide, and temperature here we have to maintain around 50 degrees centigrade. So here twice NO plus O2 is equal to twice NO2. That will be the balanced equation. Okay, and in the third step, what we have to do? That is the conversion of nitrogen dioxide to nitric acid by absorbing water in presence of excess air. Okay, so third step, what will happen? This nitrogen dioxide will be absorbed into water in presence of oxygen, and there will be formation of nitric acid, and this reaction is done at room temperature. Okay, around 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, so if we balance this reaction, this 4NO2 twice H2O, it will produce 4HNO2. So these are the three basic reactions, okay, for the preparation of nitric acid by Ostwald method. Now we will discuss the procedure. Here one diagram is there. Okay, so you follow the diagram, then you can easily understand. First, what is happening? We have to take a mixture of ammonia and dust-free air. Here it is written that ammonia and dust-free air. What is the ratio? 1:10. Okay, so 1:10 ratio by volume, and it is compressed and passed through the converter. This one is the converter. We will pass through this converter. Okay, and converter is made of steel and packed with catalyst containing 90% platinum. This is 90%. This green portion 90% platinum and 10% rhodium. Okay. Next, the converter is heated electrically at about 800 degrees centigrade. So this converter is heated at about 800 degrees centigrade and to produce nitric oxide. So whenever this ammonia and air will go through this, will pass through this catalyst chamber. Okay, that is the converter, platinum and rhodium at 800 degrees centigrade. Then this ammonia through this reaction will form nitric oxide. Okay, and water vapor will be there, as well as oxygen is there. That means air is there. So it will produce NO and O. Now next step, what we have to do? So as the reaction is exothermic, one thing you have to keep in mind, heat is required only in the initial stage, that means in the beginning. And if the reaction started once, okay, then the heating is stopped, because the heat evolved during this reaction maintains the necessary temperature. Then the gases coming out after the oxidation of ammonia to nitric oxide, we have to pass through in a cooling tower. So this one is cooler. So in cooler, we have to maintain the temperature of this NO at 50 degrees centigrade, and we have to cool the gas properly around 50 degrees centigrade. Then in the next step, we have to send this nitric oxide and oxygen mixture into the oxidation chamber. Okay, here the nitric oxide will combines, here one inlet oxygen is there, so oxygen, again more oxygen is coming, so it will drive the reaction to the forward side. Okay, and this nitric oxide will react with the oxygen in this oxidation chamber, and it will produce nitrogen dioxide. Understand? So in the next, what we have to do, what is happening here, that the nitrogen dioxide gas is passed through the, here we are passing the, here after producing nitrogen is going to this absorption tower. Okay, now is absorption tower is packed with quartz. We know that quartz is unreacted, okay, or it is not reacting with acid. So what is the function of quartz? So these NO2 gas will slowly go through these quartz crystals, okay, and from the top, okay, there is shower of water, or water we are spraying, okay. So slowly, very slowly, the nitrogen gas will go up and it will react with the water coming from the top. Then what will happen? Then there will be this reaction, the nitrogen dioxide and water and oxygen. In presence of oxygen, oxygen is there, we are passing oxygen here through this inlet pipe, and here nitrogen dioxide with oxygen mixture is going. So in presence of oxygen, that nitrogen dioxide will convert into nitric acid, okay, and the nitric acid, okay, will be collected just at the bottom in a container, and it will be around 60% nitric acid. And then this dilute nitric acid obtained above is concentrated by distillation process, okay, under the reduced pressure, okay, in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So in this way we can get up to 98% pure concentrated sulfuric acid. So this is the Ostwald process for the preparation of nitric acid. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the precautions. The gases used here, that ammonia and air, must be pure. If there is impurity, then it will damage the catalyst or poison the catalyst. Here we have used that platinum and rhodium. Another case is there that we are using rhodium because platinum may be oxidized to platinum oxide. Okay, so to prevent this oxidation, we are using 10% rhodium here. That also you have to remember or keep in mind. Another thing, that in precaution we are using excess air. Why? Because all the three reactions is happening in presence of oxygen. Here you see, and these reactions are also reversible. That is why oxygen should be taken, air should be taken excess, because we know that in air only 21% oxygen is there. Okay, so if we take excess oxygen, so it will favor the forward reaction. And third one precaution we can tell, that gas must be cooled before their entry into the oxidation chamber. So here we are heating around 800 degrees centigrade. So then we have to properly cool down at 50 degrees centigrade before going to the oxidation chamber. Otherwise what will happen? This nitrogen dioxide may be decomposed. Okay. Now in the catalytic chamber, the platinum and rhodium is initially heated. That we have mentioned that 800 degrees centigrade. But when the reaction will start, okay, then we have to remove the heating or stop the heating, because it is an exothermic reaction and no need external heating after the reaction started. Okay, and because it is an exothermic reaction. So from this way, here we get around 68% nitric acid. Actually, commercial nitric acid is around 68%, but if we think about pure nitric acid, it will be 98% concentrate. And dilute nitric acid generally reacts with protein. Okay, if in our skin it is contacted with the dilute nitric acid, then what will happen? Skin will form a yellow colored compound. Okay, why? Because the nitric acid will react with the protein present in skin and it will form one acid that is called xanthoprotic acid. Hence it stains the color of the skin yellow. This yellow color is because of the formation of xanthoprotic acid, that you have to keep in mind. But if our skin is in contact with concentrated nitric acid is highly corrosive. Okay, and it will cause painful blister on the skin. And next we will discuss the chemical properties of the nitric acid. So nitric acid, we know that it is a good oxidizing or strong oxidizing agent. Concentrated nitric acid is reduced to NO2, nitrogen dioxide. If we write the reaction, then you can easily understand that twice HNO3, when it will react, generally it will decompose into nitrogen dioxide plus water, plus there will be formation of nascent oxygen. Now if you want to balance that, that will be twice NO2, H2 and O. Okay, but if we think about this one is concentrated, and if we think about the dilute nitric acid on decomposition, it will produce nitric oxide. So if we take dilute nitric acid, it will produce nitric oxide. With this nitric oxide, it will form nascent oxygen also. Now we have to balance this equation. So if we write 2 here, then here also 2, 6. So here will be 3 of nascent oxygen. Okay. So this nascent oxygen oxidizes non-metals, metals and inorganic compounds, as well as if we take organic compounds also, it will oxidize the organic compounds also. Okay. Next, we will discuss the oxidizing property of nitric acid with carbon. When concentrated nitric acid will react with carbon, it will oxidize carbon to carbon dioxide, sulfur to sulfuric acid, and phosphorus to phosphoric acid. If we write the reaction, then you can understand. First, we discuss the reaction with carbon. So carbon will react with nitric acid, that is the concentrated nitric acid. It will convert the carbon to carbon dioxide. And just now I have told that if we use concentrated nitric acid, there will be production of NO2 plus H2. Okay. Now we have to balance this equation. If we put here 4, then here we have to write 2, and here we will write 4. And now it is balanced. And if we take the sulfur will react with the concentrated nitric acid, and it will form sulfuric acid. Then the same product NO2 and H2 will be formed. Now we have to balance it. If we write here 6 HNO3, that will produce twice H2O and 6 NO2 and H2SO. Okay. Now if we write the reaction with phosphorus, so it will convert the phosphorus to phosphoric acid, that is H3PO4. Definitely there will be formation of NO2 plus H2. Now if we write the balance reaction, then we have to add here 5 and here also 5. I think hydrogen is balanced. Now this is the balanced equation with phosphorus. So concentrated nitric acid, these are concentrated nitric acid. So concentrated nitric acid is converting, oxidizing carbon to carbon dioxide, sulfur to sulfuric acid and phosphorus to phosphoric acid. That you have to remember. Next we will discuss the reaction with metals. Definitely it will oxidize the metal like copper, zinc and iron. So if we write the reaction, you can easily understand. So copper will react with concentrated nitric acid forming copper nitrate, plus there will be formation of nitrogen dioxide and water. Okay. Now if we want to balance, we have to write here 4, then we will write here 2, and in case of NO2 we have to write 2. Now I hope it is balanced. Okay. Now if we write with the reaction with zinc in the same way will react with the nitric acid, will form zinc nitrate plus twice NO2 plus there will be formation of twice H2. Next, if we react with the all are concentrated, whatever we are discussing, concentrated nitric acid, because in case of concentrated nitric acid it will oxidize the metal as well as it will produce nitrogen dioxide. But if we take the iron, it will react with nitric acid concentrated and it will form that ferric nitrate FeNO3 whole thrice, because it will not convert iron into ferrous state, it will oxidize this ferrous to ferric. So finally we will get the ferric state and there will be also formation of NO2 gas plus water. Now if we want to balance it, so 6HNO3 is required and the 3NO2 will be here and 3H2 will be here. So in this way concentrated nitric acid will oxidize this metal. Now what will happen if we use the dilute nitric acid? Dilute nitric acid also oxidize the metal, but it will produce nitric oxide in lieu of nitrogen dioxide. So if we write the reaction with copper, copper is reacting with the dilute nitric acid and it will form copper nitrate, plus there will be formation of nitric oxide plus water. Now we have to balance this equation. Okay, so here thrice Cu will react with 8HNO3 forming thrice CuNO3 whole twice, and there will be formation of twice NO and the amount of water will be formed here 4H2. Next, zinc will react with the dilute nitric acid. So when zinc is reacting with dilute nitric acid, that will also form zinc nitrate plus nitric oxide plus there will be formation of water. Here also thrice Zn will react with 8HNO3 forming thrice ZuNO3 whole twice and there will be formation of twice NO plus 4H2. Next, iron, when it will react with the dilute nitric acid, it will form ferrous nitrate. Okay, that thrice Fe will react with 8HNO3 forming ferrous nitrate FeNO3 whole twice plus twice NO plus 4H2. Okay, so these reactions are very important. You have to remember or keep in mind. Next we will discuss the test for nitric acid. Now what is the test? If we take some copper turnings, okay, and if we add the nitric acid and copper turnings and if we apply heat, we know that nitric acid, if we apply heat only, it will decompose to NO2 gas, but copper turnings will intensify the formation of NO2 gas. Okay, so just now I have seen that copper will react with concentrated nitric acid forming NO2 gas. So this is one identification test of nitric acid. Another we can discuss that a filter paper soaked with potassium iodide solution turns brown when it brought near the nitric acid vapor. Now what reaction is happening here? So here that potassium iodide will react with this nitric acid, will form the brown fumes of nitrogen gas, that is twice NO2. That is why the paper turns brown, and there will be formation of iodine also, okay, and with the formation of twice KNO3 and water. So here twice H2 is required. So this is the reaction. So because of this, okay, when we taking one filter paper soaked in potassium iodide solution, it will turns brown when we brought near about the nitric acid vapor. So this is the cause that NO2 for this NO2 and this iodine, okay, it is turning into brown color. Okay. Next we will do the browning test. This is in your practical also. So what to do in the browning test? First we have to take dilute nitric acid in a test tube. Then we have to take freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution. Why freshly prepared? Because if we keep the ferrous sulfate solution in air for a long time, then it will turn into ferric. So we have to take solid ferrous sulfate, that is green in color, and we have to dissolve in water. In this way we can prepare freshly prepared ferrous sulfate. Then we have to add little bit of ferrous sulfate solution to this dilute nitric acid solution. Then we have to take the test tube at an angle 45 degree. Then slowly we have to add concentrated sulfuric acid drop by drop to the side or wall of the test tube. Then concentrated sulfuric acid is heavy, okay, then the solution heavier. Concentrated sulfuric acid is heavier than the solution, so it will go down, and at the junction of these two solutions there will be formation of a dark bounding, and this dark bounding is called the browning, and by this way we can easily detect the radical nitrate, and here we are confirming that nitric acid. Okay. Now what is the reaction? Actually that ferrous sulfate will react with this nitric acid, okay, the dilute nitric acid in presence of sulfuric acid, forming the nitric oxide. So the reaction is ferrous sulfate is reacting with sulfuric acid and nitric acid. Okay. Sulfuric acid and nitric acid, here we are taking dilute, forming ferric sulfate, Fe2SO4 whole thrice, plus there will be formation of nitric oxide plus water. Now if we want to balance this equation, here required 6, and it will react with this thrice H2SO4 and twice HNO3. So here thrice Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus 4H2O plus twice NO. Now this NO will react with ferrous sulfate, forming FeSO4.NO, that is nitrosyl ferrous sulfate. Okay, this is the brown ring. Okay, so in this way we can easily detect the presence of nitric acid. So in this way we have computed the chemical properties, whatever in your syllabus is there, that I am discussing here. In your book more is there, you will read from book thoroughly. And next we will discuss the use of nitric acid. Nitric acid is used in the manufacture of fertilizers like ammonium nitrate. Okay, we can prepare explosives like TNT, trinitrotoluene, nitroglycerin, picric acid, okay, 2,4,6 dinitrophenol. This thing we can prepare. In the preparation of aqua regia, in HCl we have discussed that 3 parts of concentrated HCl and 1 part of nitric acid will produce nitrosyl chloride and nascent chlorine in water. So this mixture is called aqua regia. It can dissolve the metals like gold and platinum. Okay, so in the preparation of aqua regia we can use. And the purification of silver and gold, this nitric acid we can use. For the preparation of dyes, artificial seeds, drugs, nitric acid we can use. And nitric acid also can be used as a very good oxidizing agent, and in case of oxidant for rocket fuels, nitric acid is used. And nitric acid is also used for the nitration of organic compound. So in this way we have also discussed the use of nitric acid, and we have already completed this chapter. So only one study of compound chapter remains, that is the sulfuric acid, and in next video we will start the discussion of sulfuric acid, and in our live class we will discuss some critical questions, okay, as well as board questions of this nitric acid. So today up to this, thank you.